Hello friends, today we are going to look into some basic information about Java servlets which will help you further in your practical sessions. Let's see what is the definition of a servlet. As you can see here in this diagram, there are three layers. First is nothing but a client layer, middle layer, database layer. Client layer is where the web browser is stored. Middle layer is nothing but an application server where the servlet actually runs. Database layer is where the database gets stored. So servlet is nothing but a middle layer between the web browser and the data which is stored. Servlet is a technology which is used to create the web application. And servlets are basically used to generate a static page as well as a dynamic page. Difference between static and dynamic web page. Let's understand what is the difference between static and dynamic. Static, from the name itself, you can understand the page which is getting displayed will be the same for all the users. While in case of a dynamic web page, the page which is getting displayed will be different for different users. Let's see an example. As you can see here, this is the first example where you can see the first page, that is nothing but an index page, where a user can enter two numbers, the first number as well as the second number, and as soon as the user submits here, he gets an output page. And this output page has nothing but an addition of the numbers which the user has entered on the first page or the index page. So the first user gets an output according to whatever input he has given. The output here is 9. While the second user gets an output page which is slightly changed, that is according to his inputs which he has given. So for different users, the output page might be different. This is nothing but an example of a dynamic page. Next is, let's see how a servlet works. In this diagram, as you can see, on the left hand side there's a client which is nothing but a web browser. So any request, whatever you can give, you are giving it from the client side, and that too from the web browser to the server. So once this goes to the server, then a response is generated here at the runtime, and this response is nothing but given back to the client. The servlet is responsible in order to process this request and get it done and give a response back to the client. So this is how it works. Before using a servlet interface, we were using Common Gateway interface. Let's see how the servlet interface works within the web server. This is a web server. It has a web container, and within that web container the servlet resides. Now for each and every request which comes from the browser or from the user, this request is actually processed by a thread which is there under the servlet. So a servlet can have n number of threads, and each thread is responsible to process a single request, whatever comes to them. So that is one thing. And here you can see in a Common Gateway interface, for every request a CGI shell gets created, and the CGI shell is nothing but like a process. So for every request a process gets created. So, but in the server there is always a limitation in the number of processes which you can create. So in short, a CGI cannot handle as much as request or servlet interface can handle. And likewise here only like processes are not created, and here a lot of process gets created for each and every request. Therefore the load on the processor is more here compared to the servlet interface. And in CGI the working is completely based on the process, whereas another advantage of using a thread instead of a process is because the thread shares a common memory. It's a lightweight component, and the cost of communication between these threads are also very low. So that's what we have understood about the Common Gateway interface. Next, we'll check out what is the life cycle of a servlet. So in the life cycle of a servlet, there are 3 stages. First is nothing but a start stage. Second is a ready stage, where the actual processing or the actual task for what the servlet has been created is executed under the ready state. And last is nothing but the end state. So from the first state, that is nothing but a start state, there are 3 things or 3 tasks which are performed under the start state. First is nothing but a servlet class gets loaded. Second is nothing but an instance of a servlet gets created here. And third is nothing but an init method is called, which is actually used in order to create a new servlet. Once these 3 tasks has been performed under the start state, next servlet goes into the ready state. Now in the ready state, there is nothing but a service method which is called, which is invoked for the task which has to be performed by the servlet. And once the task has been done, then it directly goes into the end state, which is nothing but a destroy state, where destroy method is called in order to destroy the servlet. So once a servlet is created, it after the processing is done or complete the task for what it has been created, then it goes to an end state, which is nothing but destroyed. Thank you, friends. Now you can check out the next video, which is nothing but Java Servlet Part 2 for hands-on practical sessions about servlets.